If I lost everything today and had to start dropshipping from scratch, this is exactly what I do. Look, I've been doing this for 8 years. I built the 7-figure brands, but the stuff that everyone was teaching in 2025, it's dead. So I just did a fresh start test this month, starting a brand new store and product, and I made over $8,000 in the first 14 days. And I'm telling you, if you're still trying to find products or run ads the old way, you've already lost. That's why the first thing that I changed is going to feel backwards, because it happens before you even look for a product. Rule number 1, having one product with 10 angles is greater than 10 products with one angle. Here's what most beginners get completely backwards. They're hunting for the winning product, testing random stuff from AliExpress and switching every 3 days when something doesn't immediately pop off. Then they sit there and they wonder why they're still stuck at 0. I had a client a few months back, and she found this digital picture frame. Nothing crazy. You've actually probably seen it before. And instead of just throwing up one ad and praying, she actually did something completely different. She tested 4 completely different marketing angles. The first was new moms, perfect for showing baby photos. The second was girl best friends, the whole send this to your bestie angle. The third was anniversary gifts for married couples. And the fourth was dog owners. 3 of those angles, crickets. I mean, barely any traction. But one of them actually went crazy. Can you guess which one it is? Now listen, before I tell you the answer, go ahead and comment down below which one you think. 1, 2, 3, or 4. I will give you right now 5 seconds. Okay, if you said the third option, which was anniversary gifts, then you are absolutely wrong. And trust me, I was a little bit wrong too. We initially thought that as well. But it was actually the girl best friend angle that won. And after seeing the results at first, it didn't make sense. That was until we analyzed the comments and the buyers more closely, where everything started to come together. And we noticed that it won because it tapped into an identity-based emotional trigger, not just a demographic. Girl best friends isn't just a category. It's a relationship that people feel proud of and actively celebrate. It naturally encourages tagging, sharing, and gifting, like send this to your bestie, which lowers friction and increases virality, where the other angles were all just situational. But this one was emotional, shareable, and community driven, which is why it scaled. So what did she do from here? Well, she didn't just keep running all 4. She went in and just killed everything else and rebuilt the entire brand around girl best friends. The website, the creatives, the copy, I mean, everything became around that one single angle. And 2 weeks later, $200,000 in sales. Listen, a basic product that you can market 10 different ways will always be a viral product that you can only sell one way. Because when your first ad dies, you're not starting over. You're just testing angle number 2. And that's the shift that you need to understand. Even for myself, when I look back at every store I've scaled past 6 figures, they all had one thing in common. We found multiple ways to talk about the same product. But these stores that failed, we got married to one angle, and when it died, well, the business died with it. That's why this is a non-negotiable number 1 for me. And listen, these next 4 are what separates the people who hit $10,000 once and disappear from the ones who actually stay. Number 2, AI-generated creative assets. But here's a problem most people run into immediately with this approach. You see, creating 10 to 15 different ad creatives can cost you thousands of dollars. You need to hire a bunch of UGC creators, spend weeks going back and forth, and by the time that your content was ready, the product is now already saturated. That was 2025. But in 2026, this problem is completely avoidable if you do it right. Because AI has genuinely changed the entire creative game. And I'm not talking about those garbage AI ads that you've probably seen that look fake as hell and scream, I made this in like 5 minutes. I'm talking about real AI UGC that is almost identical to real creator footage. So let me give you an example. In this next clip, you'll see the first 5 seconds of videos that I'll play. One is going to be AI and the other is human. And I want you to guess which one is going to be the human one.
Okay, I was tired of starting Bible plans and never finishing them. I wanted to spend time with God, but the Bible just felt overwhelming. Then I found A Beautiful Year in the Bible, and everything clicked.
So, was that one AI or human? Okay, let me know in the comment section. Here's a second video before you guess.
Okay, if you've ever wanted to read the whole Bible but didn't know where to start, this changed everything for me.
So, if you guessed number 1, you guessed incorrectly. It was actually a trick question because they're both AI. And here's what most people don't realize yet. We're not in that waiting period anymore. You know, that phase where everyone was like, oh man, one day we won't even be able to tell the difference between AI and real content. Well, we are already there. In fact, somewhere inside this video, and I'm dead serious about this, I'm going to be clipping in a 5-second segment of me that is completely AI. The voice, the visuals, everything. And I'm going to be checking the comments. And if any one of you guys can comment the exact timestamp of where that clip is, I will personally send you $500. I'm playing. But I will give you a free one-on-one consulting call with myself and my team. So keep your eyes peeled, all right? Now, let me go and explain how this actually works in practice, all right? So you're not going to be sitting there throwing prompts into some random AI tool and hoping that it spits out something usable. If you give AI a vague prompt, it will take the laziest path possible, similar to what people do. And it will fill every single gap with the most generic default that it has. After all, I mean, it was made by people. So that's why your output looks like everyone else's. It's because you gave it permission to be soulless. So the less detail that you provide, the more plastic the result. So you need a system. Let me tell you how to combat this. Step 1, you should be using Claude for writing your hooks and scripts. You feed it the angle that you're testing, the pain points that you're solving, and it generates 10 to 15 different variations of hooks in seconds. Not generic stuff, I mean actually good hooks that sound like a real person talking. Step 2, use Arc Ads. This is where you bring it to life. So you take those scripts that you just got from Claude, and then Arc Ads generates realistic UGC style video content. Real faces, voices, and expressions, not some robotic AI avatar. And those 2 ads that you saw earlier, let me say, they were both made with Arc Ads. Step 3, CapCut for final tweaks. So here you polish it, you add in text overlays, you adjust the pacing, you make any small edits to make sure that it feels authentic. Because here's the thing, the AI gets you 95% of the way there, but that last 5%, that's what makes it actually convert. And now, instead of waiting 2 weeks and spending like $450 on 3 UGC creators who might not even deliver what you need, you got 15 ads ready to test in a day for a fraction of the cost. So let's say that you're testing that girl best friend angle for the digital picture frame. Well, you need ads showing 2 friends exchanging the gift, laughing together, getting emotional, all that stuff that make people feel something. Where the old way, you hire content creators. You spend money out of your own pocket to send them the product. You then have to wait, and then you hope that they capture the vibe that you're going for. And if they don't, well, you just wasted money and now you have to completely start over. But the new way, you generate 15 different versions of the exact scenario with AI. Different emotional tones, different hooks, different settings, and you test them all at the same time, which means that you're getting data faster, which means that you're finding winners faster, which means that you're scaling while your competitors are still waiting on the first round of content to get back. But here's what I do need you to understand, and this is critical. AI is not a shortcut to lazy marketing. You still need to know what makes people stop scrolling. You still need to understand storytelling, emotional triggers, and what actually converts. So AI will never replace that, but it does help amplify it. What AI does is it lets you test more ideas, faster and cheaper, without burning your entire budget on content that might not even work. Because here's the brutal reality of 2026. If you're only testing 3 ads because that's all you can afford to create, and your competitor is out there testing like 15 because they're using AI to generate content at scale, who do you think is going to find the winner first? That's why I say that this is a non-negotiable, because content is king and creative volume wins. And AI is the only way to get that volume without going broke or burning months of time. Alright, so we just talked about finding products with multiple angles. We've talked about using AI to pump out creatives at scale. Now, let's talk about the thing that will absolutely destroy you if you do not get it right, which is speed. And I'm not just talking about how fast you move, I'm talking about how fast your customer gets their product. Because here's what's changed in 2026, is people are not gonna sit there and wait around anymore. I mean, think about the last time that you were to check out on Amazon. You had the item in your cart, you were ready to buy, and then you saw the estimated shipping time arrives in 8 to 10 days. What do? Well, you probably kept scrolling until you found that same thing with 2-day shipping, even if it costs a little bit more. That's the reality now. Buyers have been conditioned by Amazon Prime, by next day delivery. And if your product takes 3 weeks to arrive, they're not going to be buying. Or worse, they will buy it and then file a chargeback because they forgot that they even ordered it. This is where most dropshippers get absolutely cooked. They find a winning product, they find a winning angle, they scale it to $1,000 a day, and then their shipping times completely destroy them. 20 to 30 days from China, customers are pissed and refund requests are flooding in. On top of that, Facebook is flagging their account for having way too many complaints, and their entire business collapsed before they even realize what's happening. So no, you cannot scale with slow shipping in 2026, period. So here's what you do need: a fulfillment partner that actually understands this game. Now for us, we use TeamDrop. And before you think that this is some random plug, let me just explain why. TeamDrop is built specifically for dropshippers who need speed without sacrificing quality. 5 to 10 day shipping to major countries, not 3 weeks, I mean like 5 to 10 days on average. But here's what makes it actually work. They're not just shipping random products from AliExpress and hoping for the best. They've got AI-powered sourcing that pulls directly from 1688 and Taobao, which means that you're getting better prices than your competitors who are buying marked up products from middlemen. Plus, and this is huge, you get a dedicated agent. So if you need to source a specific product or troubleshoot an issue, you've got an actual human helping you. Not some support ticket that takes 3 days to get a response. And look, speed isn't just about customer satisfaction, it's about whether your business can even survive at scale. This is non-negotiable number 3, because you can have the best product and the best ads in the world, but if your fulfillment is trash, none of it matters. And I'll be the first to tell you, you will never get past that 1,000 to 2,000 a day ceiling. And eventually, the chargebacks and complaints will shut you down. So fast shipping isn't a nice to have anymore. I mean, it's the foundation of everything. Here's something that will make or break you in 2026, and it has nothing to do with the product. Buyers are skeptical as hell right now. They've been burned by slow shipping. They've seen these scammy little dropshipping stores. They've ordered something that looked amazing in the ad and then end up getting a piece of garbage in the mail 3 weeks later. So with all that happening, when they do land on your site nowadays, they are looking for reasons not to trust you. And if your store looks like every other generic Shopify dropshipping site, they will be gone in seconds. This is not 2019 anymore. You cannot have a store called bestdealshop2026.com with stock photos and typos in your product descriptions and then sit there and expect people to give you their credit card information. You need trust signals, real ones, from day one. That means UGC style content, real people using the product in real situations, not polished studio shots, not renderings, I mean real footage. On top of that, you have to have verified reviews. And I'm not talking about using fake reviews that you bought from some sketchy service. I'm talking about using apps to import real reviews with real photos from actual customers. That means you need an authentic brand story. In less than 5 seconds, your customer should know, why does this brand exist? Who's behind it? What problems are they solving? So think about that when you're building your About Us page. If you have like 3 sentences of generic nonsense, you're already losing sales. And that means on your store, you also need to have professional design. Your website needs to look like a brand. Clean, simple, trustworthy, not like you slapped it together in 20 minutes using a free Shopify theme. Again, AI makes this way easier now. And listen, just because you stuck around this long, I'm going to be leaving a link to my AI prompt pack that I use every single time I build a store from scratch right below this video. This way, you're building a trust-proof store without spending hours designing something that is never gonna bring you a sale in the first place. Because here's the reality. In 2026, looking like a dropshipping store is instant death. Buyers can now smell it a mile away. And the second they sense that you're just another random person flipping products from AliExpress, they are out of there. Now, do you need a $10,000 custom website? That is not what I'm saying at all. But you do need to look legitimate. You do need to feel like a real brand that real people would trust. Because here's the thing, your ads might be fire. I mean, they might be the greatest thing out there. Your products might be great, but if they land on your website and it looks sketchy, none of that matters. You will not be seeing any revenue, and that customer will not be buying. So in 2026, trust is the new filter. And if you don't pass it, nothing else that you will ever do will work. All right, last one. And honestly, this might be the most important mindset shift that you need to make in 2026. You really want to know what kills more dropshipping businesses than bad products, than bad ads, than anything else? Sitting around and waiting for your store to look just right, waiting to find the perfect logo, tweaking a product description for the 5th time because it doesn't feel done yet, telling yourself that you will launch once everything is dialed in. But while you're waiting, someone else is launching. They're getting data, they're finding out what's working, and by the time that you finally feel ready, that competitor of yours has already scaled to $10,000 a day and you're still stuck on what type of Shopify theme that you should choose. Here's a brutal truth, okay? Your first store is going to be ugly. Your first ads are going to be mediocre. Your first product might not even work. And that is completely fine. Because you are not trying to build a perfect business on day one. What you're trying to do is just get in the game and to start learning. The people who win in dropshipping aren't the ones who spend 6 weeks building the perfect store. They're the ones who launched in 3 days, started testing, saw what didn't work, and then fixed it on the fly. Because here's what happens when you wait for perfection. you never actually launch. Or you launch 3 months late and the product is now already saturated. Or you built this beautiful store for a product that doesn't even convert, and now you're emotionally attached to something that is losing you money. But when you launch fast and you iterate, you get real data, real feedback, and real results. And now you can make decisions based off of what is actually working instead of what you think will work. So done beats perfect every single time. Your logo doesn't need to be custom. Your product descriptions don't need to be poetry. Your website doesn't need to look like apples. It just needs to be good enough to start testing. And once you find something that works, that's when you make it better. That's when you invest in custom branding. That's when you polish the website. And that is when you make it perfect. But you earn the right to make it perfect by proving that it even works in the first place. That's why this is a non-negotiable number 5. Because perfectionism is just fear disguised as professionalism. And the longer that you wait to launch, the longer that you stay at 0. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring all of this together. If I'm starting from 0 in 2026, which I just did to prove a point for this video, where I scaled this new dropshipping store from 0 to $8,000 in less than 2 weeks, these are my 5 non-negotiable rules. Not just for me, but for you too. Okay, number 1, stop chasing the winning product. Just find one that you can market 10 different ways and then test angles until something pops. 2, AI generated UGC, not the janky stuff from a year ago. I'm talking content that your customer genuinely cannot tell was made by AI. 3, fast shipping or forget it. Buyers in 2026 don't wait. And if your fulfillment is slow, you don't get a second chance. 4, look like a real brand. Trust signals, clean design, reviews, all of it. If your store feels like a store that someone threw together in an afternoon, because it probably was, people will bounce. And 5, launch before you're ready. Seriously, the people making money right now are not the ones with the prettiest stores. They're just the ones who hit publish and started learning with real data. And look, I know that that's easier said than done. The setup phase kills most people before they ever even make a single sale. So I'm removing that excuse from you entirely. This Sunday at 1 p.m. Central Time, I'm hosting a live training where I'll build you an e-commerce store completely free, preloaded with 20 handpicked products. This isn't going to be a course on how to build. This is the actual build itself, where you show up, you skip the months of setup, and you get straight to the part where you can really start to make sales. And the link is below to join me this Sunday at 1 p.m. Central Time for 100% free. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. This is AC with Supreme Ecom, and I'm out.